Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series, and I'm back after, a little bit of time not posting on the series, and that's really just because I pretty much started my college semester, so I won't nearly have as much time to record, and really the kind of living situations I'm in really just isn't that conducive for me having enough time to just sit down alone and play this game for a while. But here we are with a video today, and probably be posting pretty sporadically, at least trying to be posting pretty sporadically for the next however long I'm going to be here, which of course is, could be determined by kind of situation we have right now. But we're picking up the series on where we left off, which was July 11th, really the start of the All-Star break here, and then we're going to be getting into the trade deadline of this episode. And I hope, last season it was pretty active with Nolan Arenado. We dealt him, we dealt Charlie Blackmon, lots of big deals this year. Probably not going to be as high profile, but still expect to make some moves. Also, I have a fan running here, so hopefully you can hear that, but if you can, there's not really anything to do about it because it's hot in my room. But we're going to go ahead and get into the kind of looking at who made the teams here. So first we'll do the futures game, and first glance, don't really see anyone from us. I actually don't think we have anyone in this game, which is kind of unsurprising because our system isn't the greatest. At this point, of course, we'll be building up. Hudson Potts, he was of course dealt in real life. Looking pretty solid right there, honestly. 11th best prospect, and we do have one person who I saw where he go. That's in the American League. And here, Tommy Doyle, really a reliever here. I guess being decent. I don't know if there's a requirement that you have to have everyone here, but he's not even much of a prospect. So I don't really care anything there. I'm voting final results here. Oh no, here's what we want. Yeah, the All-Star rosters. Gene Segura made it, which is kind of crazy. I wouldn't expect that. Hazley's on Cincinnati. I'm having a fantastic season. Jeez. Looks like the NL got shaken up a little bit here. German Marquez, he makes it. He's been pretty decent for us last year. Big bounce back season from him. I believe he's our only All-Star. At least he should be our only All-Star, and he is. And you just see an interesting little thing here. David Dahl got hurt, and I want to see this too. Looks like he got an oblique screen throwing glass at a wall after an argument with his wife. So kind of funny, honestly. But so previewing the trade line a little bit. I don't know if I've done this before, but really the only real candidate to get traded is Trevor Story, who is having a career worst year. Before he got injured, he will be back in a few days though, so we will be able to move him at the deadline. But career worst year for him by far this year. He has just not been good at all. So hopefully he can get hot a little bit before the deadline and increase his value. The really only other guy that I'd be interested in dealing is John Gray. Now he actually isn't really wanting much, so we'll kind of see. It'll definitely be see what I can get from him situation, because he hasn't been real good in past years. This year he's been pretty decent, or at least last year wasn't really good, but this year he's been pretty decent at this point already. So here I actually found the first deal that we're definitely going to be looking to do here, and that's really trading Trevor Story here, and we're looking to get Taylor Trammell here from the Padres, who not the best rated prospect, but I really like his ratings for what they are. Very good disciplined guy, very good gap power guy. We play in a place, Coors Field, that has a lot of surface area there in the outfield, so he can hit that in the outfield there and run and get on base a lot. He could be a pretty decent player for us. So maybe not a center fielder for a long time at least. Really not fantastic defensively, but he's someone who definitely could be very useful for us. Now I want to try and go ahead and see if we can really get anything else for them right here. I don't know how much we could really be able to pry away from them here. It looks like they have some interesting guys that we could go for. Ooh, this Ona guy looks at least pretty interesting. See, kind of, to get a guy like this, we wouldn't really have to offer anything at all. This Tyshawn Chapman guy, go ahead and throw him in, no problem there. This Mercano guy, although we probably wouldn't have any spot for him in the infield at all. Hudson Potts, kind of the same thing. And I don't think they would really part with him either. So really just kind of looking for the mid-tier prospects here. It'd be nice to get an arm or two. Oliveris, kind of the same as Ona, but don't like his ratings nearly as much. Ryan Weathers, he's a guy who I had in the last series that we did, I believe. He didn't really pan out because he got injured a ton. But I'm definitely not going to do it for there. Albert Abreu, honestly, he could be an interesting reliever. It looks like they're using him as a starter. You know, I think we could pick up this guy, and he could turn into a little bit of a reliever for us. And I would be extremely happy with that. Doesn't look like they want too much. See if I could get him from Wes Parsons. They'll want him. We'll give them Parsons. He's not going to be anything for us. So I'm not very concerned with that. But yeah, honestly, I think this might be the deal we can do. Maybe we could get him to throw in another one of these relievers here. Rascone. I don't really see any other relievers or really those kind of throw-in guys that might be of some value. But yeah, I think this is what we're gonna do. Trevor Story from them. I mean, us giving them Trevor Story, the Padres. Obviously looking to upgrade. They are second in the division, right behind the Dodgers. Could use a bat like Story, the bat that Story could provide. You know, he's a shortstop, but I'm sure he could go there and play a second, third base kind of thing if that's what they need, or, you know, just a bench bat in general. So we're going to go ahead and do this deal. Not a bad haul for Story, I think, honestly, considering how bad he's been playing this year. So, yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and kind of look around the trade John Gray. If I do, I'll let you know. So I'll see you then. So here I found the John Gray trade as I drop my phone off my lap. But I found the John Gray trade. Looking to pop. Ooh, here's Colin Barber, who turned into a monster in the last save that we ran. But found a John Gray trade here, and I really think this is an absolute steal of a trade. So John Gray, of course, under his last year of team control here. With the team, so, you know, this is, you know, really a rental piece, and the Astros, I think we really get them to pay a premium price here for John Gray. Of course, the Astros contending at this point in their history right here could use some pitching upgrades, you know, general upgrades. You know, you can never really have enough pitching heading into the postseason, really, and here we get 4 really solid players from them here. So first guy, Brett Conine, he's kind of been moonlighting in their major league bullpen a little bit, hasn't been good for them, but here's what I really like about him. Extreme ground ball guy, looks like he's probably going to be a bullpen arm, you know, maybe can be a starter, 3 pitches, but what I've really found in this game is that you need 4 to be kind of an effective starter. So I think he's maybe more of a ground reliever, but could be a pretty good starter for us. Enole Paredes. Now here's another guy, kind of mixed bag as well. Could be a very, very good reliever, I think. Could be a mass starter. And that's where I kind of think, you know, I might play with that kind of usage. You know, these guys could come up and they could just split a game literally every single time. You know, Conine goes a few innings. Paredes goes a few innings here. And they just become super just impactful bullpen pieces. And then Christina Javier, another guy I found kind of interesting. Extreme fly ball guy, but not a guy that they're really looking forward to a lot. He probably will have some home run trouble, not a lot of movement, not a lot of control, but has absolutely monster stuff. So, you know, at the very least, maybe sometime down the road we flip him to a team with, you know, a huge park that doesn't have the kind of air environment that Coors does. And, you know, he succeeds there. And then here's a guy who I just think could be an interesting guy, Nathan Perry, a 22-year-old catcher who's been stuck in low A for a while, he looks like. But I think his potential ratings are kind of interesting. Very good discipline rating, looks like, that he could develop into. Not the greatest catcher. He kind of by his ratings here, he could play some infield if you needed, maybe some outfield if you develop him a little more, but I just think he was an interesting player to get, and I know if he kind of develops to how our head scout looks at him, like he could be a pretty solid piece to have around in the offense that can move around a little bit, play some catcher, play some infield. So it's very interested in him. Honestly, I think this is a very, very good trade for John Gray. And then Corey Sullivan, just a nobody who won't be anything. A throw-in. So yeah, this is going to complete the trade, and I think that's also probably going to do it for the episode. Probably one of the shortest episodes that I've ever done in the history of an OOTP series. But I mean, really there wasn't that much to cover, and kind of it really happens that way in these early seasons. Brett Conine, I don't think we'll send him up immediately. Ona, yeah, these guys are 40 man. That's why they're here. So Ona will, we're gonna have both of these guys. The 40 man. Ona, is he righty or lefty? He's a righty. So honestly, because I think the other, these guys that we have up here are both lefties, and they are. So actually, yeah, Ona, he's gonna go up to the major league team, be kind of a platoon partner for those guys against lefties. Conine, I don't really want to have him in the major league roster quite yet since he's been so bad for them. So we're going to send him on the AAA, gets him some more experience, hopefully. And then we have quite a few options here. Santos. I'm not quite sure what I want to do here, because some of these guys I definitely want to let them get some starting time. Tommy Doyle. Honestly, I think this is who we're going to go with the bullpen, actually. Going to call him up. Get him in the major league team, because we have a million guys who can start here. So I don't want to make them all in the bullpen guys this season. Now let's see how kind of this chalks the lineup up. Doesn't really change anything, to be honest. Looks like Ona is on the bench there, and wow, still on the bench against left-handed pitching, which is pretty surprising. Honestly, it looks like Bornstein doesn't have really that hard of a split, and neither does him, but I'm sure they'll get some playing time. Yeah, it looks like Ona is slotted to get some more playing time there. Can he only play right field? No, he can play a bit of left. His defense just must not be as good as some of those other guys, but yeah, William Contreras is performing pretty well at catcher, it looks like, offensively at least, so that's very good. Then the kind of rotation here, actually had some pretty good performance. Marquez, he's been good. Santantella, he's been very good. Freeland was performing pretty decently. If I believe his WAR was around 1.5-ish, and then he just sunk. It looks like, so he's not having a good season, but we still have him under team control. He'll probably be a part of the back of our rotation for a while here. Sort by FIP. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything has been going how it's been. The guys who have been bad continue to be bad. The guys who have been good continue to be very useful for us. Wow, Ben Bowden, he's been pretty decent in the time that he's been getting the pitch this year. Hopefully he can develop into a good lefty for us. I have some faith in his ability to do that for us. And yeah, so I think that's going to be it for the video. And then we'll pick up really at the end of the season where we kind of recap things. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next episode.